Excuse me. As I press record, I get hot. I was just outside. That's why I brought all my stuff on. My hair is so thick and big and plastic that my clips just pop right open. Not used to having thick plastic hair. What? I'm just going to take them out. Clips. Got my hat to keep it out of my face. I have to do some itching. Scratching. Excuse me. It's cute, but I'm going to have to take it off because it's going to get hot. Excuse my finger. I really want to put it this way. I'm still having the issues with the charger. I touch it and then it stops charging. Oh no. But it makes it so that, yeah, okay. So that my thumb doesn't show, you know. How do you, I would never hitchhike. But you go like, no. Thumbs up? How do you do hitchhiking? Like this. I know about hitchhiking. I've seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure 5 million times. I haven't been live in a month, and I just thought, well, I didn't sleep at all last night. One productive thing I did was I changed my calendar. It's so pretty. My calendar was made by my best friend. You know, where you customize it with the pictures you want. And it's all gem because we love gem. Gem and the holograms, the dolls, the cartoons, the original dolls. Not the collector ones that cost hundreds of dollars and aren't smiling. We don't like those ones. Although some of their fashions are really pretty. I've heard that it's like not high quality, a lot of them. The clothes, they break or they chip. And for hundreds of dollars, clothes better not break. So I don't even, I should have checked beforehand to see blue chamomile oil. So nice. And it's blue. It's actually blue. It smells good. It's nice for you. Although I've been using a lot of oils. And sometimes I don't always take stuff off my skin, but I'm being better with my doing the witch hazel toner. It smells, it's got rose water in it. 3.5 minutes and nobody's here yet, but that's okay. I'm just getting comfortable because it's been a month and I'm still an awkward lass. Oh gosh, my hands. So a few times a year, I always get, I think it's called eczema, and it's starting now. I asked the nurse if it might possibly be worse because of the chemotherapy. And she said, well, just use moisturizers, unscented. And I was like, well, I always use yummy essential oils. Like, I don't go out and buy expensive moisturizers and stuff. I like to use natural stuff if it's cheap and it smells good. But she said that would be okay. And then my nurse yesterday, my chemo nurse, when I was having my treatment, we were talking about hair because she had her hair down. Nurses usually always have it up, but she says she likes it better down. And I was like, your hair is so pretty. And we were talking about hair dyeing and stuff. And she said that she likes to use rosemary for her hair. And I said, I love rosemary. I actually have to get some more of it. I just like put it wherever because it smells so good. I usually just buy things that I like the smell of, and then I look them up and I find out what they're good for. And it's always something that I need. Oh, excuse me. I've been neglecting the little mouse. I have to take his jade out of him. He keeps that in him to feel nice and lucky, and so he can sit up and pose.
How come nobody's here? I've been waiting to see you all. I guess I don't have too much to say. Oh, yes, I do. Mommy was looking at me and this other guy here who has to go in the mail. He has to go to New York. See, this was going to be the top of a little fairy house, but now it's a hat. He was all ready to go, just like this. Then it started to get cold, so I thought he needed a little cowl. Like that to keep his neck warm. And then I thought maybe he should have a hat too. And now he looks like some kind of Lord of the Rings guy or something. Right? And then Perino was looking at him. They sit next to each other most of the time. And Perino was like, hey, I'm getting cold too. So I thought I would make him a little Santa hat because I have some very nice fuzzy red wool. It's not showing as red on the video because it's crap. Because the video is crap, not the yarn. It's real nice. So I was like, I started knitting. She started knitting me a little Santa hat. And then she thought, you know what? I'm not going to make a hat. She said she's not going to make a hat for me. She's going to make a bird for my uncle, her brother. Because at Christmas, she always gives him something with a cardinal on it, or a something she's made that has a cardinal on it. And this is the perfect color for a cardinal. So she took the beginning of my hat apart and she cast on something else. I'm so neglected. Anyway, yes. I'm not going home for Christmas this year because my last chemo is too close to Christmas and I'll just be too tired. But I'm still making things for people. This will probably, it might end up being for my brother's birthday. Or it'll be like a Christmas and birthday thing. Oh, right. This is actually going to be similar. Did I show you the blue guy? I'll show you the blue guy because this yellow chicken duck thing, I don't know what it is. It's a chicken or a duck. It's a turducken. He's got all his accessories on. So the shape of the bird is going to be like this. It's going to have cardinal feet, not duck feet. But it's starting out the same. I start at the bottom and I make a flat circle and then it goes up. So, where was I? Oh, yeah. I thought I had to stop. Well, I have to stop soon so I can start stuffing him, but it's a little hard with no stuffing. So he's gonna sit like that and then have his long legs, long black legs, I guess. I gotta look up cardinal pictures again. And then the head, I'm doing the increases. So it starts like that, and then it kind of goes up, and then his big fat head. And then I'll put his wingies on, and I'll have some black around the beak like a cardinal. And I'm not sure if I want to give him big cartoony eyes, which is normally how everything turns out, whether I want it to or not, because I don't know, I just like big cartoony eyeballs. Or if I'll try to make him look a bit more realistic. But it's kind of like a goofy kind of character, you know? He sits on the edge of something with the legs dangling down. But he needs to look like a cardinal. When you look at him, it's got to be obvious that it's a cardinal. But he could be a goofy cardinal. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to end up
pretty goofy looking, and that's okay. I'm also making some other stuff. I started a sweater for myself, and I don't do math or counting or minimal counting. And all my stitches were shoved together because I was starting at the bottom. Normally I would start at the top so I can try it on, but I decided I would start at the bottom. And now that I've put the sleeves on and it's like as wide as it's going to be, I've noticed that it's huge. You know, the trucks, the big trucks, they have to go in a special lane. If this sweater was a truck, it would have to go in the wide load lane. Anyway, I had to buy another ball of yarn to keep going on it. And now I realize that's not going to be enough. But I want it to look good. So I have to use something that works with the wool that is on the first part of it. Like it has to be the same weight kind of so that it doesn't look completely silly. I'm not using a pattern, so I'm just using my imagination, and sometimes it gets carried away. Okay, there's one person here. Introduce yourself. I'm still at 88. I started at 88% and I'm still at 88. Hello? Hello? Ew. It's porn bots. YouTube is getting inundated with porn bots again. On Instagram, it's always like gross bots. They're like ladies, and it's like they have gross porny kind of URLs. I call them thought bots, but that's not family friendly. I call them thought bots. Anyway, go away, thought bots, please. Find my hot girls here. No. I don't want your hot. Put user in timeout. I'm putting the thought bot in timeout. Oh my God, thought bots. I want to do more than put this person in a timeout. Hide user. No, that means they can still comment. I want to block the thought bot. I guess I'll report it, but that doesn't do anything. Pornography or sexually explicit material. Go away, thought bot. They won't do anything about it. I'm not going to start complaining about YouTube because it's not a political channel. This is a family-friendly reading channel with some knitting. Oh, right. I showed you Best Marvin months ago, right? Please, if somebody's here, say who you are, because I've been getting bots, the porno bots, and I don't want them here. I'm not here for the porn bots. I like to say porn bots, but I don't like to entertain them because they're not even people. They're robots. Not a fan of robots. Right, this is Bess Marvin. I've ended up deciding she's going to go to New York to live with my aunt. My aunt's favorite color is pink, and so I'm looking through all my stuff, and I have all this pink stuff. So Bess Marvin, also, she's like a Nancy Drew fan as well, my Aunt Elizabeth, so she'll know who she is. Maybe I should make her, no, I can't make more stuff. I have 5 million projects in progress. Okay, I'm turning off the chat because, well, for now, because all I'm getting is thought bots. So I thought, oh, I was just going to say maybe I should make her a little hamburger or something, or hot fudge sundae. It wouldn't take long, but I don't know. Sometimes I go overboard. I could send her one in the future. I could send her some food. I think you can send that kind of food in the mail. Okay, everyone go back to your place. because this is a reading channel. I got to send everyone back where they belong so that I don't make a big mess, because then I will not be comfortable. So I'm going to put my bird back in the yarn bowl. I love my yarn bowl. Isn't it beautiful? I got it for Christmas last year. Now, normally I would never buy myself a ceramic yarn bowl because I like to just throw things around. I would get a very rustic looking wooden one, maybe something really old and decrepit. But I love this. This is used so much, and it's a kitty cat. But I'm very careful with it. I'm going to put this guy back. He's so cute. He'll be finished someday. I just love him without any features. I like how he turned out. Everything, like I said, I don't count and I don't measure with this kind of thing. So they're not always exactly the same, which is good. I don't want cookie cutter birds. Bye. I guess he's a bluebird. I don't know. Okay. I took my bookmark out of, this is the book we're reading, but I took the bookmark out. And I said to myself, before I start another live video, I'm going to look at my last live video and see what the last chapter was. Oh, wait. I dog-eared it. Yes. Because I wanted the bookmark for something else. I dog-eared it. Good job, Nancy. I can't hide the chat. If there's somebody real here, I want to see it. Is anyone here? What's this button? There's a blue arrow. I don't know what that is, but I don't want it. I don't want that button. Oh, there's somebody here. Hi, it's Brenda. Hi, I'm here. Hello. I'm using my husband's account. Sometimes that confuses people. Oh, okay. Well, I know you're a real person. That's all I want is real people here because there's lots of bots, thought bots. Now, was the last sentence we read, yes, I think it was. Tired and hungry, the campers had to face it. There was no food in the house. Right. They got to Aunt Eloise's place in the Adirondacks, like a cabin, a snow lodge or something. And George and Bess forgot to get groceries. Right. It's like The Shining. Ned went and got an axe. And I was talking about The Shining. And then I was like, sorry, I'm talking about The Shining. So let's just read the last bit. In a few minutes, they were carrying in the suitcases. The girls and Aunt Eloise followed, shivering in the huge, icy living room. We can soon have some heat, Aunt Eloise said, taking swift charge of the situation. Boys, there's plenty of wood in the shed out back. Suppose you start a roaring fire in the grate. Girls, said Nancy, let's bring in those groceries from the station wagon. Groceries? Bess gaped. Nancy's heart sank. Bess, George, she gasped. I gotta get my sea legs back. Didn't you remember to stop for the food? Didn't Bert tell you? The blank consternation on her friends' faces was answer enough. Tired and hungry, the campers had to face it. There was no food in the house. End of chapter X1V 13. End of chapter 13. I think we just had a picture on the page before. Let's look at that again. Bert's car has skidded into a ditch, Nancy cried out. That was our last picture, if anyone remembers it. I don't. I just remembered it was like getting kind of shining. although not in Colorado. I'm going to check how long. Oh, not bad, not bad. I think we can get through a whole chapter. Let me make sure that I have, this is my Gatorade from yesterday morning. When I'm not feeling well, here I go off on another tangent. When I'm not feeling well, that's when I drink Gatorade. Otherwise, I don't like it. Like if I'm sick, have a flu or something, I will drink red Gatorade. Otherwise, it just makes me feel better. If I feel good in general, I never drink this stuff. I don't know if you needed to know that. It's good. It's good. Oh, speaking of, it's good. It's good. Eggnog season is upon us. I'm very much like my father in many ways, but also in that I can drink a lot of eggnog. My dad is nuts with eggnog. He's like, the whole fridge is eggnogged up. And my mom has eggnog in the fridge upstairs too. If I'm there, I just keep one upstairs in the fridge. Sometimes my dad's like, is there any more eggnog? And I have to give him some of the upstairs eggnog. It's good. When I was little, I hated eggnog. It was like, ew, nasty. Then I got a little older and I liked it. Maybe I won't like it this year because of the chemo. It really messes with your taste buds somehow. You start eating things you never liked and things you liked taste gross. Do you like my baby moose hat? I love it. It's a kid's hat. Now that I don't have hair, it fits really well. I've got big hair today and it looks cute over it, but when I had my real hair, I was like always tugging at it to make it fit. It still has issues with doing up underneath, like just pop open. Aren't I supposed to be reading, not playing with my hat and the Velcro sticking in my plastic hair? Fashion doll issues. Read, Nancy. Don't play with your horns. Let's see if anyone's yelling at me in the chat. Oh, good. Nobody's telling me to start reading, damn it. Hey, my battery's actually going up. It's amazing. Okay. We will read one page. I love it when the sentence ends at the end of the page. I can read one whole page and then stop for a second. 10, I still can't figure out what this number is. Chapter 14, The Fur Thief. I'm just looking at the time so I can put it in later. Cheer up, Aunt Eloise encouraged her guests. The situation isn't too black. I left a few canned staples in the pantry here. If you don't object to beans. Beans? Oh, welcome word, cried Bess, rolling her eyes ecstatically. I'm ravenous. I'm ravenous enough to eat tacks. Bess has issues. I need my glasses, I just realized. Oh boy, beans. I'm so hungry I could eat thumbtacks. I have to put my crooked glasses on to make things a little easier. My glasses are crooked. Yep, I put them down and I'm like, okay. I'm so thirsty. Yesterday, I think one of the reasons I couldn't sleep was because I had way more caffeine than usual. I had coffee in the morning. After I left the hospital, I had breakfast and I had a coffee. And then I drank some tea, like regular tea during the day. So because I had cut down so much on the caffeine, but now I'm back to coffee. You could drink something that has the same amount of caffeine, but it's just not the same because it doesn't have the taste. I'm pretty sure 90% of it is psychological. But anyway, enough of that. Beans! Oh, welcome word, cried Bess. I thought it was going to say rolling her eyes sarcastically, but this is Bess and food. Ecstatically. I'm ravenous enough to eat tacks. Then you'll have to earn your supper, George said firmly. Get a mop. She's like mommy dearest. She's cousin dearest. This place must be cleaned before we eat. I hope they don't have any wire hangers in the closet. In the midst of their tidying the cottage, a knock came on the door. John Horn walked in. The guy with the baby mink. This book rules. The old fellow looked ruddy and fit after his trek on snowshoes. He explained that he had come up the day before and was camping out in the hills Indian style. When they told him of their predicament about food, he looked amused. I hope they don't eat the baby mink. What was the baby mink's name? Cecilia? Mona. Sorry, I'm backtracking, but I need to know the baby mink's name. He'll probably say it on the next page. When does he come up in the book? Who's Hilda? I'm going way back. Oh, a mink. I saw something about a mink. Oh, isn't the whole book about furs? So there's lots of talks of minks. And there was that old widow with the lost earrings. I liked her. Or was that in another book? I don't remember. Then there's the hotel people, the figure skating, the skiing. There is so much in this book. Okay. I can't find it. When they told of their predicament about food, he looked amused. I think it starts with M. Shucks, nobody here need go hungry. He chuckled. I shot some rabbits on the way. I'll bring 'em in and give you folks a real treat. After consuming the nourishing beans and tacks and John Horn's delicious rabbit, cooked on a spit in the fireplace, oh my gosh, you know it just is so yummy. Why does it have to be so cute? Everyone felt satisfied and content. Then, gathering around him, Aunt Eloise and her guests listened for 2 hours to the old trapper's yarns. Later, when Nancy asked him if he had found out anything about Dunstan Lake, he shook his head. Nope. Nobody I met ever heard of the man, Nancy, nor of that Forest Fur Company either. But they say there's 3 mink ranches around here owned by outside folks. Suddenly, Eloise Drew snapped her fingers. Excuse me. I can't snap on command. I just recalled that I heard the name Dunstan Lake twice. The second time was last summer at the Longview Inn, 5 miles from here. I was leaving the dining room when I overheard a woman mention the name. Maybe it's another clue, Nancy spoke up. I think I'll go over there right after breakfast tomorrow and speak to the manager. I'd like to hike over. Could I make it on snowshoes, Mr. Horn? Oh, sure. That is, if you got good muscles, and you look as if you do. Well, folks, the trapper said, rising, I'll be on my way. Where's the baby mink? Does anyone remember the baby mink's name? I really want to know. Nobody will tell me. He would not accept a bunk with the boys and went off whistling in the darkness. The house party guests rolled wearily into bed and slept soundly. until Ned woke up Nancy with an axe.
Next morning, the prospect of a second meal of beans for breakfast had little appeal for the campers. At Nancy's suggestion, the young people tramped down to the frozen lake, resolved to try some ice fishing. Hope they don't find Jack Torrance under the ice. The boys hacked a hole in the ice 50 feet from shore and carefully lowered several lines with baited hooks. But although they waited patiently, there was not a bite. "I guess we'll eat beans, and like it," George groaned. "Halloo there! What you doing? Looking for a walrus?" called a voice from the shore. They turned to see John Horn standing there with a heavy pack on his back. The old trapper explained that he had risen before daylight and gone down to York Village. "I brought back your grub," he grinned. "Want to eat?" "Do we?" cried Bert, dropping the line he was holding. "I'll swap an uncaught for a stack of hotcakes any day." Oh my gosh, I just remembered my breakfast yesterday. It was so good. I only got one meat this time. I always get sausage and bacon. This time I only got bacon, and I dipped it in the maple syrup. It wasn't real maple syrup. It was in a little dippy plastic thing, but it was still very good. Oh. Anyway, where was I? Pigs are cute too. I know, I'm a hypocrite. The others echoed his sentiments as they rushed to join the trapper and relieve him of the food. I want to hear, whenever there's food involved, I want some Bess dialogue. I want to hear what Bess thought of it. Directly after breakfast, Nancy and Ted Sorry, I've been watching old Nancy Drew movies. Not Nancy and Ted, Nancy and Ned. Ned Coleman Nickerson. Is he an heir to the Cooler people? I don't know. Directly after breakfast, Nancy and Ned fastened snowshoes to their hiking boots and set out for Longview Inn. I think they should stop and make a snowman. The snow was crisp and just hard enough for firm going. Shortly before noon, they arrived at the entrance to the big resort hotel. "What a grand spot for winter sports!" Nancy exclaimed. She gazed admiringly at the high ski jump and the numerous ski trails and toboggan slides. "Sure is," Ned nodded. "I wish we had time to try 'em. But I suppose you want to find out about Dunstan Lake. Well, where do we begin our investigations?" "I think they should go sliding." "Pardon me." Wait, smiling elderly woman. "Pardon me, but would you two be interested in purchasing tickets to our charity contest?" a strange voice inquired. The couple looked around to face a smiling elderly woman. She went on to explain that the tickets were for a skiing party the next afternoon, to be followed by a trapper's dinner at the inn. Ned was just about to say that they could not make it when Nancy surprised him by telling the woman they would take 7 tickets. Ned dug into his pocket for the money. Poor old Ned. But as they entered the hotel, he asked, "Nancy, why did you do that?" "Sorry, Ned. I'll pay for the tickets." "That's all right, Nancy, but maybe the crowd won't want to go." "I know someone who will want to go. A certain plump blonde." "Are you talking about me?" She's probably not plump enough. I've made some pretty plump dolls. Like their midsections are quite chubesque. I really don't think, well, Bess wasn't really, she wasn't a fatty. In all the pictures, she's not fat. I mean, they never call her fat, just plump. And there's nothing wrong with being plump. I'm plump. I mean, my weight fluctuates a lot. Oh, there we go again, going off on a tangent.
My weight fluctuates a lot, but I have been quite chubby. When my face is chubby, it looks younger, I think. Like when I was really sick and lost, it was like under 100 pounds. Ugh, ugh. But then I don't want it to be too chubby. Okay, stop. Stop it. Get some help. Who says that? Michael Jordan, I think. I was going to say Magic Johnson, but that's not right. Gosh, where were we? That's all right, Nancy, but maybe the crowd won't want to go. I was thinking of Mitzi Channing, Nancy said. If she's in the neighborhood, she might show up. We all remember Mitzi Channing, right? The lady from the beginning who was selling the furs and was a figure skater lady. You're right. Well, let's call on the manager. Mr. Pike had been with the inn for 5 years, but he had never heard of a Dunstan Lake, nor anyone named Channing. He promised, however, to make inquiries among the guests and to let Nancy know. What time is it? I think I need to take my pills. Oh, it's 8:30. Will you excuse me? Well, I can't swallow pills when like a nurse is staring at me, but I think I can do it when people are staring at me through a screen. Well, shall I share my pills with you? I started taking vitamin D again since it's been getting cold. I take iron butterfly, and I take Effexor. I was going to go off on a tangent again about the hospital and how they only give you, my hospital will only give generic drugs now, and I can't take this in the generic form, which causes problems sometimes when I don't know that I'm going to be spending an extended amount of time in the hospital. And like one time, okay, stop it. I got a brand new bottle of those. Ugh. Talk amongst yourselves. Who remembers the name of the mink? If I wasn't on record, if I wasn't on here, and I just opened it up randomly, I would be at the part with the mink. But when I try to look for it, no. I thought I found it, but it's just Mrs. Packer. Mrs. Packer is the nice, rich widow lady who lost her earrings. Well, that's all gone. I got my big glass. Peter Pan Inn, 1975, Urbana, Maryland. Kapok Tree Inn, 1975. It doesn't say Urbana, Maryland, but I assume it is also in Urbana, Maryland. Who here has been to Maryland? I haven't. Don't they have cherry blossoms there or something? Cherry trees? I like those. Don't look at me. I have trouble swallowing chalky pills. In the past, I have had to take tiny, tiny chalky pills. If you don't swallow it, as soon as you put it in your mouth, it dissolves and tastes disgusting. Why? Don't we have the technology to make non-chalky pills? But then go down. Don't look, don't look. I'm a cat. I need a cat hat. See, it was a little chalky vitamin D one. It decided, I'm not going there. I'm not going down there. Back to the chapter, which we will finish eventually. I promise. I promise. I just looked at the next page, or lower down in the page. Someone makes a return earlier. He promised, however, to make inquiries among the guests and to let Nancy know. When they left the hotel, Ned said eagerly, "Let's go over and look at that Olympic ski jump." The jump was truly spectacular, and near the base of it was a skating pond. At the edge of the ice stood two mammoth figures which had been carved out of snow. "Aren't they wonderful?" Nancy cried out. As she and Ned stood staring at the snow giants, Nancy felt a hand on her arm. "Nancy Drew, this is a surprise," said a familiar voice. "Why, Chuck Wilson!" Nancy gasped. "What are you doing here?" "Pinch hitting as a ski instructor." Chuck grinned. Uh-oh, Ned's gonna get a little jelly. "The regular pro has a broken leg. And now tell me what you're doing here." Nancy introduced the two young men, then told Chuck about the house party at her aunt's camp. "Oh, Chuck, I have a grand surprise for you." I think someone's going to be going home with Ned and Nancy. She added, "Guess what? John Horn's here." "Here?" The skier looked incredulous. "At your camp? I'll be right over." Ned looked none too pleased at this suggestion. "John's not staying with us," he said. Ned lost his glum look, however, when Chuck insisted upon lending the couple skis, boots, and poles, and suggested that they take a few runs. I think they're going to be buddies. For the next half hour, Ned and Nancy enjoyed themselves on the ski slopes. "Nancy, your skiing has certainly improved," Ned said, smiling. I suppose Ned skis better than Nancy. Nobody does anything better than Nancy. The credit for that goes to Chuck. Below them, Chuck Wilson waved his hand. "Hey, why don't you try jumping off that mogul?" he called. "Oh, I'm game," Nancy cried, pushing off after leaving her poles against a tree. "Come on, Ned." Who thinks Ned's going to crash and be very embarrassed? I don't remember. I'm just guessing. Nancy went first, taking off beautifully from the top of the huge bump. Ned followed, but his was by far the higher and the longer jump. Well, he is taller and stronger. "Well, at least I didn't spill," Nancy laughed as they pulled up alongside the ski instructor. "Now I think we'd better start back to camp." "Nancy, I'll see you again soon, won't I?" Chuck pleaded. "We're all coming over here tomorrow," she promised. Then, with a teasing glance at Ned, she added, "There's no reason why we can't see more of each other today. Ned and I haven't had lunch, so why don't you join us in the dining room?" She's so cruel. "Thanks, I will, but let's go downstairs to the snack corner." I'm charging. Google always tells me there's an action required. You should enter your birthday. But it's like every time I'm like, no, you know enough already. This is fun. I'm so glad that we're getting back into this book. There's no snow. We had a little snow, but now it's just been rainy and all the snow's gone. It's December 1st. Personally, I like having snow on Halloween. But I'm a snow person. I'm a snow bunny. No, not a bunny. I'm a snow moose. I'm a snow moosey. Let's go down to the snack corner. Nancy and Ned returned the borrowed equipment, and Chuck checked his skis and poles at the long rack outside the beam-ceilinged room, which was crowded with skiing enthusiasts. Does that mean skiers or just people who are enthused about skiing but might not ski? I don't know. Their appetites whetted by a morning in the crisp mountain air, the trio ate heartily. Chopper, that I'm going to eat something. I'm going to cough first. Their appetite, they ate heartily. When they finished, instead of joining the group ranch buildings, a man came running toward them. All of a sudden, I want orange juice. I don't have any. There's like this much left. What? A man came running toward them. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. I'm like on sentence and I start disconnecting. No. Matter? I'll say something's the matter, the man growled. It's milk. Not milk. Starting this page over. Some guy runs up from the ranch and he says, "Did you meet anyone or see anyone leaving here?" he asked excitedly. "No," Ned replied. "Something the matter?" "I'll say there's something the matter," the man growled. "Some of my finest mink pelts have been stolen." End of chapter 14. Now, who would have stolen mink? Let me think. Mitzi Channing and those other baddies. Next chapter is short, but I must stop because I need to eat something. So remember, well, I'm dog earing, and the next chapter will be chapter 15, Racing a Storm. That sounds exciting. Racing on skis, racing in a boat, probably not a boat. Okay. There, it was good to do a live. After a month, well, it's been over a month. I can take my crooked glasses off. They're making a line on my nose. I don't like lines on my face. Why are like stones always nice and cold? I forgot what this one. Opalite. Opalite. I got it because it looks like a juicy candy. But it's nice and soft. It's probably, oh yeah, it's good to do this on your face. You know, you can get those jade roller things for you go, always up, never down. Probably like this does the same thing. And it only costs $2. Although it's probably nice to have the handle and the little steamroller. Well, you don't need to see this. Thank you, everyone who was here and joined me. I put my blonde hair on for a hat when I took the garbage out, and I was like, and it looks kind of cute and stuff, and amazing. All I took off was my pajama bottoms. I'm wearing a dress thing underneath or on top, and I didn't have to take anything else off. If you watched my earlier videos, I'm always complaining about the heat. Well, I am in my elements now, even though there's no snow, so it's like not pretty. At least the temperature is better. I love being cold. I don't have any heat on. I don't like the heat. When I come home, I'm hot. When I come in from the outside, no way. Wait a minute. When I went outside to take the garbage out, there was no snow. Well, guess what? Everything's coming up Millhouse. There's snow. Oh, but there's rain too. Heart of hearts, my Eskimo boots are not made for walking on ice. They're made for walking through deep snow. They're deadly on the ice. Any ice, just like a tiny bit of ice. So I have to walk even slower. So everything takes longer. I am good at complaining. I could, you know what? Since my charger is switched out for another one, I could sit, oh, right. I can't sit here and knit because I have to go eat. There's something called chemo brain. My nurse reminded me of it yesterday, and I was like, I think that's just normal brain for me, but maybe I just have a little bit of chemo brain. I don't know. Do you want to see? Usually, I have my phone propped up on a pile of CDs, but I didn't feel like it, so I put them on. I put it on Nancy Drew books and my hair stuff. Whoa. Thanks. Nobody said very much, but that's okay. I hope you enjoyed chapter 14. I found it very fun. And I'm glad we're back. We have, this is what we've read, and this is what we have left. Let me show you the Scarlet Slipper Mystery, because there's only 3 chapters left. And I will show you a very special Christmas book. Scarlet Slipper Mystery bookmark. Oh, please don't fall off. Back cover. Yeah, we have just a little bit left. Cute dog and cat bookmark that I've had since the 90s. That's not very long ago. And here is the very special Christmas book. I'm going to try to take a picture of each page to go with the audio. I was thinking I would put music in the whole thing. No, not in the whole thing. Just bits of music here and there. So I'm reading it on my own, and oh, look. It is actually just... I'm back. I was doing a thumbnail or something. I don't know. Okay, it's just a coincidence that this chapter is called Birds of the Feather, and I put a feather in it. So this is where I am reading it on my own. And for the recording bookmark, look, it's gonna. I have recorded 2 chapters. The next one I have to record is chapter 3, The Bird's Nest. Chapter 5 is going to be very tough because the woman who's talking during a lot of it, well, I can't do the accent, but it's written strangely too. Strangely for me. Let me just show you a quick bit. Is it focused? Mrs. Ruggles, she talks like that. There are other audiobooks of this on YouTube, other recordings of it. And I was like, oh, I better go listen to chapter 5 read by other people, see how they read it. And then I decided, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to read it my way. I don't care if it's right or wrong. It's my way. And now, I must bid you something. Now I will bid you aloha. And I'm going to do one chapter 23 of Scarlet Slipper Mister. I have about 4 minutes of goofs so far, so that was good. I thought I would have more trying to talk French goofs, but it's not French language. It's they speak English, but in a French accent. I can't do that. Okay, I'm going now. Bye, everybody. See you later. Thanks for watching and listening. Take care.